All right, this is the triage for the 13th of November, and we are going to get started with 1175. Okay, and this has an PR associated with it, which we had closed.
Oh, is it done?
Uh, I, I don't know, it's closed, but this is a pull request that was closed.
Oh, it looks like there's another solution for this.
Sorry, did you already go?
Looks like the pull request was closed by Stephen Renatus because it seems like there was an alternative thing in discourse.
Okay. To tidy up, I'm closing this. The discourse page had already a solution for this. Okay. Which is here. So, which means I can just point to this discourse post and close that issue.
Yeah,
Okay. Does this look okay?
hmm
Okay, this is linking into another issue.
looks like we thought we fixed it in another issue, but may not be. Hmm.
If there's a missing cookbook version in the dependency tree, the chef server becomes unresponsive. So he's there on manage 111.4, and we said please try using 120. Oh, and you can open issues on chef manage. Chef manage is public. Precondition failed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a link to manage.
Yeah. So this being a filed as a chef manage bug was probably a misfile. If I mean,
Maybe this is something happening. This is sad. Like,
I think we need to try to repro it
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah.
It feels like this might be relatively easy to write a test for. If it's really just a chef server API problem,
Yeah.
if we can write a pedant test to make it blow up. It might be interesting to see if we can get some help from maybe MSES on this. If we get a pedant test for this.
I'm gonna put it on the sustain backlog. This is a bug.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna say upskirt or chef for now. I don't know. Medium,
Yeah.
large.
I don't know if we can size this, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we could make up something, but I don't know, that actually feels less useful than just leaving
So I'll
no
get
size,
rid of that label.
leaving no
Okay.
size at all. And I think we need to. I mean, if we could reproing it seems cheap. And
Right.
once we have a
Getting the pen
repo,
test.
then we can say, well, okay,
We can judge better.
yeah.
Okay. This is opened by Mark Paradise, but it's do we want to take a look at this, or do we want to go
Yeah,
ahead and
let's look at this one.
yeah. Is that a needs information? Okay, maybe not from
I don't know if this is a needs information, at least the way we're using it. I mean, we
Yeah,
should see if it's still a
it's,
bug.
I would say investigation required instead of, I think needs information is from the customer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way I think of it at least.
So try reproducing then. Security.
Yeah.
Do we have Nginx? Others?
Omnibus.
Is there Omnibus in there?
Cookbook. It feels like our cookbooks are omnibus issue for you to have that. Or is that just going to be another miscellaneous?
Yeah. I didn't see Omnibus
Yeah.
or
Or
cookbooks.
one of those things to do some point is that whole
Go
what's
through what
go
others
through
is.
component others and see.
This might be a good first issue for someone more familiar with Nginx though. Like it might not be a hard thing to do, but you need to be a little familiar with the Nginx tools. So I will just say to be prioritized maybe. Chef server version 12.11. I am assuming we do allow custom ports. That is something that we have exposed. Sorry, not exported.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
I mean, this looks like a manage. Maybe manage isn't. This looks like okay. So they're trying to log in and manage.
Yeah,
And they're
something
not
like that.
connecting. And I'm wondering, I mean, this needs some investigation, but if I had to make a stab in the dark, I'm betting that somehow manage isn't getting the new port number.
This is very good for sustaining.
Yes. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably just tweaking the Nginx config.
Yeah.
And the Bifrost port should never. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. So this feels like a just a config issue in manage.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
I was still looking at the other one a little bit. My brain crossed over.
Okay, let's see. Let's try to run a reconfigure. Sorry, we are on 966. We are below the 1,000 mark.
Yes.
Try to run a reconfigure on Red Hat 6.6. Chef server packages, chef server core 12.9 now. Following error.
I think we need to try reproducing this one. I don't know why there's no differentiating information here to tell me. I mean, so Red Hat 6.6 and 7.2 are hitting the issue. I mean, I think the questions I would have are: one, does this happen with a later series? And two, I mean, we test so there must be some difference they have from our test system, because I know we've tested this on Red Hat 6 and 7. So it's not like everybody's going to hit this. There must be something different.
So this is in 2016, so it would have been on the delivery system. Did we do installs similar to just like bringing up a box and doing a RPM minus IDH, or
I'm pretty sure we, even back then, that was the delivery for release. I can't remember what we used. I thought it was Red Hat,
okay,
but also CI, even Travis, which is what we're using those days. Every but every build on master in Travis would have tested Red Hat 6.6 and Red Hat 7. So they're having it on their first run.
but I don't know if it has ever occurred after 12.9.
Yeah. I would
Can we?
say, let's see
Can
if
we?
we can, can you reproduce it on a modern version of Chef Server?
So I have a question here. Is it okay to ask them if they are still seeing this on a later version of Chef, or then close the issue and have them reopen it if they are seeing it?
Yeah, I was thinking, ask them if they're seeing it on a modern version of Chef Server.
Okay,
Yeah.
but leave the issue open, you think?
I would close it and
Okay.
say, please feel free to reopen if this is also doing gather logs.
Yeah.
I gather, if you have gather logs information, that will, I mean, the things I can imagine is there's either something unusual about the network configuration. For example, Red Hat 7 is the first time we started hitting issues with localhost in the Etsy hosts when it's IPv6. So there may be some, I'd love to like get a little more detail of things. Yeah, or even 12.
Oh, you want me to give them link to the latest 12?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would say link them to 1307 and
Yeah.
say, I don't know. I have a suspicion. My
Okay.
best guess is this is related to some local host issues we fixed in later versions.
Okay.
And it might be worth just saying, we suspect but don't know that this is an issue that was fixed.
Does that look okay?
Um, yeah, I would say I would just say I'll close the issue now. Feel free to open it if it's still occurring. Um, the most important thing I suspect is a copy of the Etsy hosts file. Gather logs. It might be worth. Gather logs is going to be huge.
Okay.
So they're not going to post it in this issue because it's going to be, megs.
Okay. No saying.
Sounds good.
I should have just left that tab. All right. 9:59. Oh, this is your issue, Mike. Chef server cuddle restore fails with no such directory. Score analytics cuddle.
Might be fixed. Oh yeah. So we were waiting for. Here we go. We're waiting for someone. I mean, the other thing is that analytics is end of life.
Yes.
It's gone, right?
Yes.
So let's close this as we haven't heard back, and analytics is no more. There's a better way of saying it's no more, but analytics is no longer supported.
Right. This was an issue. I hope this was merged, but I don't know who takes care of chef backup. Okay, there is documentation for it. Great. Right, 898. Unable to view permissions of public key read access group in web UI.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Role-based access control.
Yeah, there is a so what we need to do is probably have someone work their way through the knife command line to show them how to do this, because manage doesn't know about this and won't. I mean, it should, if we were going to do anything, if we were if manage was being actively updated, we'd want to fix manage to take care of this, but we're not really doing much with manage right now.
Yeah.
So I think that figuring out the nice ACL command line required for them to read and manage this is what we'd want. But I don't know that off the top of my head. Someone has to like piece their way through.
I'm gonna say try reproducing or investigate as a better label. Which one do you prefer?
I would say investigate.
I maybe I feel like this investigation required is a label I should put under triage. Or just try reproducing the equivalent of investigation. No, try reproducing is just run it and see what happens. And investigation is a little deeper than that. So maybe
Yeah.
create a triage investigation required label.
Yeah, well, what are our triage current labels?
So we have confirmed, decline, duplicate, feature request, needs information, not reproducible, and support.
And this technically is a support request, and also the public read access group feature. We finished it up in the API and then never totally finished it up anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I think the thing we should do is try to get a knife ACL command line worked out.
Should I add the investigation required label to triage?
I would say up to you, really.
Do you have feelings against it?
No, I think it just whatever really works for your flow, because in the end you're going to be going through these offline and trying to fit these into some sort of backlog and refinement process. And so, when you're allocating time, whatever you like to use to find it is gonna whatever works best for you.
Okay. Cool. I will say this is it a chore? Not a chore.
It's almost a documentation thing as much as anything. I mean, we should document a little bit on how to use this. We provided a feature, never super documented how to use it.
Right, but type would be detected then? No, that's refactoring. It's a chore.
Yeah, or I mean, it feels like we might need to have some category for documentation. I mean, some bugs we fix by documenting.
There is aspect documentation then.
Yeah.
Do we have knife in here?
I'm not sure if I'd label it that finely offhand.
Okay. So just put it under a chef or others. Or cuttle.
Others for now. I mean, I think there's a decision to be made on how you want to have people use this feature, and whether it's chef server cuddle, which may have some stuff to manage this, or whatever. There's a couple different ways to approach this. You can document the knife command. If chef server cuddle has something but no one can find it, then we should document the thing we put in Chef Server Cuddle that I don't quite remember.
I'll try to leave a comment. My name was taken. Uh, was it fully implemented? I was going to say we can take it up once it gets prioritized, but I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's what you have there. Looks good.
My name was taken is amazing. Okay, moving on. 880. Gem conflict error. I'm running chef server. I'll reconfigure.
I would close this with a reopen if this reappears.
Yeah.
But I'm from what we know, lacking any further response from the person.
Yeah.
From what we know, I think Mark Paradise's guess is most likely to be correct.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eight 47.
interesting.
I think this got added somewhere along the way. This sounds very familiar to me, but I don't know if it was in chef server or somewhere else. There's something for directory permissions, I think, in the pre-flight checks.
Yeah, I was skimming the pre-flight checks to see if
Yeah.
anything showed up.
This is a bookshelf, required recipes, Elasticsearch server auth. There is a bootstrap. I'll be interested in looking at that.
I'm not seeing any sign that we
No.
have implemented this.
All right, we have an issue. Okay, nice. So, and this is real. Hmm. Okay, and I put pre-flight check as correctness or documentation.
Correctness, I would, or packaging.
Ah,
Maybe.
yes. That's maybe a nicer one. Pre-flight will be others. Good first issue.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. 807.
Mm.
Hmm. I think this falls under the one where we are not respecting API FQDN.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. We may have this hard coded. We may have the loopback hard coded in Chef Server Cuddle. We may not be parameterizing it using Chef Server Cuddle at all. Might be the case. The other problem is I think we need to listen on loopback on Nginx for it to work. Is the other thorny bit here. I think there's enough internal stuff that expects Chef Server's Nginx to be on localhost that
We default to hardcode. We hardcode default to listen on localhost.
well, there's that, but there's also just like the way we may have implemented a few other things may, I'm trying to think through this. So what they've done, I think, is right now, by default, it listens on all IP addresses, including the loopback. And when they give it a specific IP address, that removes the alternate IP addresses, but it also removes loopback from the list. And so,
okay.
And that's why the things that are hard coded to use loopback or otherwise are using loopback hit a problem. Which, I mean, we could fix this thing so it doesn't. I mean, there's there is the fix to fix this one problem, but I think the elephant in the room is that there's probably enough stuff that has this kind of localhost dependency that you're likely to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Going down that path. So I think this, to really support their use case, it feels like it needs a bit more. This might need to be thought through in more detail. It's not just a quick fix.
Yeah. This might be multiple, depends on how you want to see it. Nginx or a chef.
I say it's Nginx and Chef Server Cuddle. Or Chef's really not in the play here.
Sorry, yes, Chef Server Cuddle and Nginx. But we don't have Nginx, right?
No, we don't. So
Panthers. Not going to put a size on this one. $792. RabbitMQ.
mm-hmm.
Automate Cuddle reconfigure. Does he mean Chef Server Cuddle reconfigure?
They must. That generation of Automate had no connection to Chef Server.
Yeah. So this is packaging, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I already got a package aspect.
Yeah.
Did I miss a type? All right, 776.
Yeah, that's a fun bug. Basically, it's all because we don't allow. We use the host name to create the org name, and org names have to be lowercase. So I think the two lower thing looks like the right thing. So this is a bug, I think. I think we can call this a confirmed bug. Enough people have seen this.
Host name. I'll put it on chef server cuddle. Oh, that's not really.
It's not really. It's a pedant bug.
But we don't, others then. Okay.
Yeah, I think you're probably near the time that we should start expanding.
But I feel like we have so many of them that are going to be like one issue.
Yeah.
This is the first ever patent issue.
Some of them are, but I do think a lot of them probably are going to get I think we're going to have a couple of Nginx related things.
Yeah. Good first issue, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a Ruby fix. I think the only reason that it might be hard is the amount of magic in our pedant logic.
Right.
We take the usual RSpec spooky action and is distance stuff to a bit of extreme.
7:55, although we are at time.
All right.
Do you want to call it or?
One last.
Okay.
Just for good luck.
All right.
Oh boy. I'm gonna regret this. Oh, another API FQDN.
Yep.
All right. It feels like there's a giant fix all the API FQDN bugs bucket that has.
Yeah.
Feels kind of feels like we have a little backlog in that.
Yeah. I'm gonna copy this one up real quick because locally I was maintaining a thing for this. API FQDN would fall under
Oh,
all my others.
packaging or catch-all.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, we've been putting omnibus installer issues under packaging, and so probably should at least check the box. But we may want to dig up the go search for API FQDN things and link them all into one. If
Yeah.
you're fixing this, go look at this.
Yes. All right. We're gonna stop here now.